Behind me is a B-52 bomber, a type of aeroplane that was designed in the 1940s and brought into service with the US Strategic Air Command in the early 1950s. It's still in service today. It's interesting to reflect that the pilots of today could be the grandchildren of the pilots who originally flew it. And I think it's a good example of technology that persists because it's useful. The avionics, and I'm sure many other parts of the aeroplane have no doubt been upgraded, but the basic aeroplane is still flying, and again it may have different missions. But this is something we see also with hardware and data architectures, legacy architectures. It kind of shows us that legacy architectures, legacy systems persist. They don't necessarily get completely replaced. In fact, they're part of our overall hardware, data, and software architecture. And I think that the emphasis today is always on the new, about indeed thinking about how one layer of, let's say, a data stack can completely overlay another. We talk about the modern data stack, but isn't the modern data stack going to be a legacy in just a few years' time? So do we really need, or should we think about always eliminating legacies, or should we think about having our hardware and data architectures persist if they serve a useful function, if they work, and we can maintain them? And I think yes, there might be talent questions around that. I think they're soluble. We still see people who can program in COBOL today, and new people are being recruited into that field. So the disparagement, I think, of legacy architectures, of legacy systems or legacy technology is a little bit unwarranted. We need to think instead of how we can, in this ecosystem, adapt what we have, keep what is useful, and find its right place in an overall architecture. And also, we need to think about not introducing complexity into our architectures. Simply layering on our new architectures, new tools, because they are new, isn't going to be helpful. And I think this is where we need to perhaps have a more mature approach to enterprise architecture, which is supposed to do this work. All too often, enterprise architecture can just turn into product pickers, focusing on capabilities, perhaps just from marketing materials presented about new products. What we need, I think we need a much more serious conversation about preserving what is good in the old and adding on new capabilities, new technologies, new data architectures that do something new and different, or maybe really well improved. So again, I would strongly advocate for not knocking what is legacy, but treating it in a much more mature fashion than perhaps we have done in the past.